Hey guys, what's happening? So today we are going to add and subtract rational functions. I think this is going to be a two-parter, maybe even a three-parter. This is going to be a long one. But anyway, the first thing we're going to do is let's just add two rational functions that actually have the same denominator, okay? Keep in mind, when you're adding or subtracting fractions, you need matching denominators, right? Okay, so in this case, the denominator here is x minus 6. Here it's x minus 6. So we have the green light to add or subtract our fractions. So this is what I do. I make one denominator, that's x minus 6, okay? And then I have 4x. Now it's minus 12 plus 2x. So we're subtracting the 12, so minus 12. And we're subtracting a 2x, so minus 2x. All right, let's simplify that. We get 4x, take away 2x, that's 2x, minus 12 over x minus 6. Okay, let me go up here. And now I can factor out the 2 from that, right? So I get a 2 parentheses x minus 6 over an x minus 6 down here. And I don't know if you remember, but last time we talked, I said every time you just have a binomial like that can't be factored, go ahead and put parentheses around it. And now look, it's 2 times this over this, so I can cancel this, and I'm left with 2. Okay? All right, so that's, believe it or not, I hate to say it, that's probably going to be the more simpler of the problems. Okay, so let's dig into the insane stuff. Here we go. Part B. We're going to add, okay, with unlike denominators. All right, and here's our first example. 7 over 9x squared plus x over 3x squared plus 3x. All right, so now the trick is, anytime we do this stuff, we need to factor, okay? This can't be factored, this can't be factored. Typically, don't worry about the numerators. Where we need to put our focus is the denominators. So this guy right here, we need to factor that. Well, guess what? It's already factored. Yay! It's 9 times x squared. It's factored. You can't do anything about it. But what about this one? Okay, well, this guy can be turned into, we can factor out a 3 and an x. So this turns into 3x times x plus 1. So now it's factored, okay? So watch what we have. We have a 7 over a 9x squared plus an x over a 3x times an x plus 1, okay? Now you're thinking like, well, great, that makes it look worse probably, okay? But here's the cool thing, all right? Let me find my red pen, here it is. All right, take a look. Since everything's factored, look at our numerators, okay? We need these guys, look at our denominators. We need the denominators to match, okay? So let's look at the numbers first, okay? I usually do it in 3 parts. I go numbers, ooh, look at how dirty my fingers are. Numbers, then x's, and then parentheses, okay? So look at our numbers. We have a 9 here, we have a 3 here. What do I need to do so that my numbers match? Now some of you guys say, oh, multiply that by 3 and multiply that by 9. Yeah, you can do that, but wouldn't I get the same result if I just multiplied here by a 3? Okay, isn't 3 times 3 9? Now if that's true, now 3 times 3 is 9, now it matches that 9. We're good to go, yay. So if I multiply by a 3 down here, I have to multiply by a 3 up here, okay? All right, so we got the numbers taken care of. Now both of our numbers are 9s. Okay, now let's look at the x's. Well, on this side I have an x squared. This side I only have an x. So don't I need to multiply this by another x to make it an x squared to match that? Okay, so I'm going to multiply by an x. So I'll go ahead and times by an x. Okay, so x squared. Okay, and here I'll times by another x. Okay, so I multiplied by an x. And I could have written x squared, that's fine, okay? But now look, I have an x squared here, I have an x squared here, I have a 9, I have a 9. The 9's match, the x squareds match. Now all I have to do is get my parentheses to match. So over here I have an x plus 1 in parentheses. I need one over here. So I'm going to put an x plus 1 in parentheses there, okay? And if I do it down here, I need to do it up here, x plus 1, okay? Now my denominators completely match, okay? So now that they're completely matched, I'm going to go ahead and write one fraction bar. And the denominator, really, you could take it from this one or you could take it from this one. Why? Because they're both the same. Watch. Isn't it 9x squared times x plus 1? 9x squared times x plus 1, okay? It's the same over here. 9x squared times x plus 1. It's the same thing, okay? It should be, it better be, okay? And now in the numerator, we have a 7 times an x plus 1. So that's 7x, distribute, plus 7, okay? Plus 3x squared. So plus 3x squared. All right, and there's really nothing else you could do here except this. We have standard form. So it's going to be 3x squared plus 7x plus 7 over 9x squared times x plus 1. Okay? Now there's one last thing we need to do. Remember over here on this problem, we got the 2x minus 12. What did we do to it? We factored it. And because we factored it, then we were able to cancel off things that matched. So what you're going to try to do every time is see if you can't factor that. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to put my parentheses because it's a trinomial, okay? And it's 9x squared times x plus 1, okay? And I know 3x times x, okay, gives me 3x squared. I know 7 times 1, okay, so 7 times 1 gives me 7. So I'll put a 7 here and a 1 here, okay? I get 7x, I get 3x. I'm trying to get 7x's, I can't get it. You know, this is not gonna factor, okay? This won't factor, okay? So we don't even need to do this now, it's done. So this is gonna be our final answer, okay? All right, so that's what you need to do. Once you get that, try to factor the numerator. All right, so let's do the same thing. I'm gonna go to part C, okay? But the only difference is we're going to be subtracting, okay, with unlike denominators. All right, so let's do part C. Subtract with unlike denominators. Okay. And let's do this example right here. Example, we have x plus 2 over 2x minus 2 minus negative 2x minus 1 over x squared minus 4x plus 3. Okay. All right, and again, the main thing you want to do is factor the denominators. Who cares about the numerators for now? Who cares? The main thing, factor denominators. So this guy right here is, you could pull a 2 out, and we're left with x minus 1, okay? And over here, it's a trinomial, okay? So we got x and x, looks like 3 and 1, and we're trying to get negative 4, so they're both negative, okay? All right, so now, let's write this down. X plus 2 over 2 times x minus 1 minus negative 2x minus 1 over x minus 3, x minus 1. All right. Now remember the three things? Remember the three things? Remember those dirty fingers? All right. First thing was numbers. Get the numbers to match. Then get the x's to match, then get the parentheses to match, okay? I can't believe how dirty my... Okay, anyway, sorry. All right, so let's do the numbers. So notice this guy right here. This guy has a 2. This guy does not have a 2. So this guy wants a 2. So multiply by 2 right there, okay? If I multiply down there by 2, I have to multiply this entire thing by 2, okay? All right, so far so good. All right, now let's get the x's to match. This guy doesn't have any x's, and this guy doesn't have any x's, so we're good to go. We don't have to do anything there, okay? Now let's get the parentheses to match. Okay, this guy has an x minus 1. This guy has an x minus 1. Yes, that's awesome. This guy doesn't have any more, but this guy has an x minus 3. So we need an x minus 3 over here. We need an x minus 3. And if I multiply there, I need to multiply here, x minus 3. Now, I don't know if you noticed my mistake. Don't forget to put parentheses. Okay? All right, we're good to go. Here we go. I'm going to make one big division bar. Okay. All right, and we just copy it down. Do you want to take it from here or take it from here? Trick question. They are both the same. Okay, so 2, x minus 1, and x minus 3. Okay. All right, now let's go ahead and take the numerator here. Go ahead and distribute that out. Okay, x times x is x squared. Okay, negative 3x plus 2x is negative 1x, so minus x. 2 times negative 3 is minus 6. Okay, now here's the one that's going to take a little bit of time. Okay, ready? Let's just ignore this negative for now. Just distribute this. This is 2 times negative 2, so that's negative 4x. Okay, and then 2 times negative 1, that's negative 2. And now remember, it's negative times all that, right? Okay, so it's negative times a negative 4x. That's a positive 4x, so plus 4x. And it's a negative times a negative 2, so that's a plus 2. All right. Now let's go ahead and clean up the numerator. Combine like terms. So the denominator, 2, x minus 1, x minus 3. The numerator is going to be x squared. Okay. You have minus x and plus 4x, so that's going to be a plus 3x. Okay. And then we have a negative 6 plus 2, that's negative 4. Okay. And now remember, we're going to try to factor this, and I believe it factors. Here we go. The denominator 2, x minus 1, x minus 3. And look at this. It's a trinomial. X times x. We have a 4 times a 1, right? 4 times a 1. We get a 4x. We get a 1x. I'm trying to get 3 x's, so plus 4 minus 1. So plus 4 minus 1. Take a look. This guy and this guy, they match, so I can cancel those out. Bye-bye. And so my final answer is x plus 4 in the numerator, and in the denominator, 2 times x minus 3. Okay, and that's that. Now, I'm not saying they're all going to be this easy. Haha, if you think it's easy. But anyway, you definitely will run into challenges. But again, just email me or pop into Zoom and I'll be here to help you guys. Okay, this is part 1. I'm about to do part 2. All right, later.